did this or I should have did that. So people find comfort in not accomplishing things. It's easier to find comfort with people not accomplishing things than with success because success makes everybody uncomfortable. Success pushes you. Hey guys, I'm back with another episode of Mental Wealth. This podcast is used to express thoughts, experiences, and lessons. I aim to be as transparent as possible. If you enjoy an episode, please don't forget to like, comment, and tell a friend. Thank you. Hey guys, in this week's episode, I plan to talk about the victim mindset. Now, this topic is very, how would I say, I wouldn't say personal for me, but I would say it can definitely help people I know and people around me. It can help anybody. That's what this podcast is for. It's for helping everybody out there and spreading awareness and making sure everybody's building themselves up to be a better person. But I would say for the most part, you can't get anywhere with a victim mindset. Not anywhere. Because you're always misplacing the blame. That's what I'm starting to like about my podcast episodes because they're starting to build on each other. My last episode was about accountability. And so accountability plays a big role in having a victim mindset because you have to own your actions. When you have a victim mindset, well, let me define a victim mindset. The victim mindset can be defined as a state of mind where you feel like the world is against you. People with this mentality hold three key beliefs. The first being bad things have happened in the past and will continue to happen. The second, others are to blame for your misfortune. And third, there's no point in trying to change because it's simply won't work. Having these beliefs, you're not going to progress. You can't hold these beliefs and then, especially this kind of belief, and want to improve yourself. Especially what I've noticed with this, it's easier to keep sinking instead of trying to save yourself. And while you're sinking, it's easy for you to use it as a crutch too. So you're kind of like incentivized to not progress. So some common signs for this are you blame other people for how your life is going. You feel as though everything's stacked against you. You have a negative attitude in most situations. This probably hits the most home. When you feel sorry for yourself, it makes you feel a bit better. And this is probably the biggest problem with having this mindset I have noticed. Having especially that sign will leave you perpetually spiraling downward. I remember, what was it, today? I listen to a lot of podcasts in my free time. That's what kind of inspired me to have my own. I feel like I'm pretty good at talking. But yeah, I was listening to this podcast. It was about this woman who was on Shark Tank. She was giving her background story. But one thing that really hit home that she said, I mean, she was talking about her journey. She started off as a waitress. She said, what makes you successful is the less time you spend feeling sorry for yourself. And I think we spend a lot of time feeling sorry for ourselves because, I mean, it's easy to find comfort for people feeling sorry for themselves. It's matter of fact, you can go ask 10 people. You have a lot of people who've never chased their dreams. So it leaves you with a life of like, all right, I wish I could have did this, or I should have did this, or I should have did that. So people find comfort in not accomplishing things. It's easier to find comfort with people not accomplishing things than with success because success makes everybody uncomfortable. Success pushes you to a different level. Success makes you look at what you're doing. And it makes everybody look at what you're doing, especially people close to you. And success can definitely rub people the wrong way. I know this especially in situations like this because while you tend to develop a negative support system from dealing with this. What I've noticed, what usually causes this mindset is multiple situations in your past where you felt like you've had no control, and mainly what I've noticed is multiple situations of dealing with this kind of trauma in itself. This is kind of bad, but trauma, you kind of become, I wouldn't say comfortable with it, but it kind of becomes normalized. And when this trauma becomes normalized, you're able to use the victim mindset as a coping mechanism, which inherently makes it worse. Instead of the problem getting smaller, less increasing, you're improving, you actually get worse. And never in my life have I even saw one positive outcome of having this mindset. I mean, you're left with guilt, shame, your depression, you're left in the same state that you started in. So there's no progress. A lot of people I notice with this mindset, especially, have a resentment for people that are successful. In today's society, it's way easier to hate on someone, and it's way easier to hate on someone's success. It's when you can easily just get online and see someone's background story. Oh, what is it? I'm in the middle of reading, what is it, the book, The Millionaire Next Door, and it says, like, what is it, like 70% of like American millionaires are first generation or something like that. So for the most part, anything you want to accomplish, especially in a country like this, you can accomplish. We create our own barriers. Every obstacle you have, you created it. Hell, I think about where I am now. I couldn't imagine being born in what, the 1700s or something like that. I could have been a slave. I'm like, everything is just opportunity, and you just have to take advantage of it. Even being able to see, I have a friend that's going blind right now. So that's every morning I wake up, I'm grateful. I show gratitude. I pray, all that. You have to ground yourself. I've noticed most people begin to struggle too when they stop working on themselves. If you're not growing, you're dying. I mean, for the most part, once you stop working on yourself, you're not. You shouldn't expect success. A lot of times, the problem is we always want something for nothing. We always want something so big, and we haven't even took the first step to get there. A lot of times people ask questions they already know the answer to, and with them knowing the answer to it, it's like we lie to ourselves. We'll know the answer and still expect to get a different outcome, which is selfish because you're thinking everything revolves around you. And as humans, we're inherently selfish. I mean, for the most part, what, we live in like the youngest solar system or something like that, and people were people think the solar system and everything started with just that. So I mean, for the most part, I'm kind of full of myself. I mean, if I didn't believe in myself, who would? So to a certain extent, I wouldn't say we have to be selfish, but you definitely have to have belief. I think people get belief in being selfish mixed up. Ways to stop the victim mindset. You can either leave the situation or accept it. And I think this is the hardest part for people to deal with, dealing with this mindset, because it's always easier to stay. It's always easier to stay. But I think we have to be aware of our actions. If you accept a situation, you can't expect everyone else to accept that same situation. Everybody has their own time, their own feelings, and it's important to acknowledge how somebody else feels. I can't tell you how to feel, or you're over this, or you should be over this because this much amount of time has passed. If something has affected you a different way than it's affected me, who am I to tell you you're wrong? I think this also becomes a part of that situation. I think also what can stop this mentality is developing emotional intelligence. I think it's not that I know. We lack a lot of emotional intelligence. For the most part, the average adult male, the average adult woman, we lack. You don't really learn. I wouldn't know much about emotional intelligence if I didn't damn have a degree in this area and stuff like that. But you don't know how you feel. Well, I wouldn't say you don't know how you feel, but for the most part, it's hard for people to talk about how they feel, to understand their emotions, to process emotions, problem solving, resolution, conflicts, all of it. It's just, those are skills that we learn as children, and we constantly learn every day. We're constantly improving. You constantly make decisions every day. You make a million plus decisions, and there's constant improvement. Also, I think what helps this situation is taking responsibility for what you can control in your life situation and how you react. For the most part, the only thing you really can control in life is how you react, because everything can happen. A plane fall, you got Boeing's falling out of the sky and stuff. I mean, for the most part, you can't. I think disappointment comes from expectations. It's very important to learn how to say no. It's a very important skill. I think, well, it's not that I think. For humans, we want to be accepted. So the person who says no oftentimes doesn't get too many yeses, doesn't get too many acceptances. That's just the way numbers work. If I say no majority of the time, that's just how it works. But saying no puts you in being able to say no keeps you from situations you're not comfortable with. And a lot of times we get ourselves into situations that were not comfortable with to begin with. So once we get in that situation, we're already like, bro, like I already didn't want to be here and I can't hear anyway. So it's kind of like you took two L's, if that makes sense. I've The best way to deal with somebody, what I've learned with this situation personally, the best way to deal with this situation is to have the person seek professional help. I know for the most part we try to help people the most we can and the best way we can. And sometimes people don't want help. Or sometimes you're not able to give somebody the help that they truly need. So it's always better for somebody to go see a professional. It's very important for someone dealing with this to learn how to set boundaries and seek help. Make sure you seek help. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back